Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is my 2018 Kawasaki Z1000SX and I've had these Michelin Road 6 tires fitted for the last 5,000 miles. So if you want to hear about my experiences with this tire on this bike, then watch the rest of the video. So as I was saying, I had these tires fitted back in May of this year, May of 2024. As a replacement for the Pirelli Angel GT2s, which had done just under 10,000 miles. And I was getting ready to go on a trip to Scotland and then a trip to France. So it was really time to change the tires. I had been to the Michelin presentation at the Dainese London store, on which they talked a lot about all the tires in the range. And I had a chance to ask them questions at the time, and I also had a chance to speak to Chris of Two Tires, and it was a very strong recommendation on these tires for this bike. Not only from them, of course Michelin would recommend them, but from other users, other people that I know that have this bike that have been very happy with the Michelin Roads, Road 4s and Road 5s. And there was a very good deal with good discounts on the fitting and on the tires. So I went for the tires. I fitted them just before the trip to Scotland, and it's been with me to Scotland and around. That was about a 2,000 mile trip, and it's also been with me to France and back, and there was another 2,000 mile trip, and they've performed extremely well, both in Scotland, where there was a lot of rain, as you can expect, a lot of nedgery roads, with tight hairpins if you're on the west coast, and some more open bends if you are a little bit more towards the Cairngorms. Fantastic tires throughout, performed absolutely brilliantly in the dry and in the wet, on a wet ferry across the Firth of Cromarty. Inspired lots of confidence. Fantastic. And then they also went with me to France, where again there was a lot of hairpins, there was a lot of open bends, there was a lot of different roads, there was a lot of alter route, and throughout, in the dry, in the hot, fantastic performance, very confidence inspiring, great feedback, no complaints at all, whether it's in the colder Scotland at 5, 6, 7 degrees at the height of summer, with rain falling either vertically or diagonally and sometimes horizontally, and in the wind. And also in France in the burning sun with tar snakes. The tire let me know everything that was going on the road. Very comfortable, very soft and malleable, so absorbed some of the bumps really, really well. So for me, for this bike, for road use, for touring, definitely gets 2 thumbs up from Noob. Now as you can see, after 5,000 miles, I still have about over 4 millimeters of tread left. There are different points in the tire. It's just over 4, whether it's on the side or in the middle. And the distance to the actual wear bar, it's just over 4. So yeah, it's worn very, very well. Now the only issue I've had with this tire was a puncture. I had a puncture, and you can see the plug's been put in here. I had a puncture from a flint, which I initially fixed with one of those sticky string kits, and it seemed to be okay initially, and maybe it was leaking a little bit, like 3 psi over a week. But recently during my trip to France, it started getting a lot worse, and it was leaking 14 psi overnight. So I would definitely recommend, if you have a puncture, to get it properly plugged with a proper mushroom plug at a tire shop, or if you can do it yourself, but don't just leave it on the sticky string. That would be my recommendation. As you can see, the tire has worn very, very well throughout. Very even wear, no issues with uneven wear or any of that sort of stuff. It's retained its profile really, really well. Throughout the trip to Scotland, where I was doing a lot of wet roads, it was very, very confidence inspiring. and in France, where it was a lot of dry roads, a lot of hairpins, a lot of lovely bends, it was working very, very well. Super confidence inspiring, very, very comfortable, no issues at all, either with the rear, and really the same story with the front tire. It's been very, very good. Lots of confidence, great braking, great cornering. I am not the sharpest cornerer in the world, but it's definitely performed very, very well for my liking. Now, I've heard a lot of comments and seen a lot of comments on social media, especially when I posted about my puncture. People saying that, oh, you know, the Michelin Road tires have a tendency to pick up more punctures than normal tires. Now, they may be true. I haven't seen any data to corroborate that, and I'm a very sort of data-driven type of person. Now, what I think is going on is that a lot of people have Michelin Road 6s. A lot of people ride a lot with Michelin Road tires, and because they ride a lot and there's more miles being done, it's more likely that there's going to be a puncture. And that's what I think is going on. People see a lot of stories about punctures on Michelin Road 6s and assume that Michelin Road 6s get a lot of punctures. I just think there's a lot of people out there with Michelin roads, and therefore that's why you see a lot of punctures. You know, if only a few people were riding it, then only a few punctures would happen. So I don't think they're any more susceptible to punctures than any other tire. Of course, it's the first puncture I ever had. I never had one on the Metzeler's, I never had one on the Pirellis, and it happened to be on the Road 6s. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are saying it's always the Michelins. I don't know. I think I can't say. I'm not going to blame the tires for this. It was a freak thing. A little flint got flicked up and got straight in there, and it was a tiny little leak. Anyway, that's my take on it. Let me know what you think. And so that's it really. That's all I have to say about the Michelin Road 6s. Obviously I've only done 5,000 miles. I'm expecting to get another at least 4,000 to 5,000 miles out of these tires with the way that I ride and the type of stuff that I do. So if you're curious about them, if you have any questions, or if you want to learn anything else, please leave your question in the comments below, or reach me on the other social media channels and ask your questions, and hopefully I'll be able to help you and able to answer them for you. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and share it with your friends. If any of them have a similar bike or are thinking about this tire, share the video. It will really help the channel. So thank you very much, and for now, this is NooBiker.